After the August 10, 2022 deadly protests, President Bio established a special investigation committee to examine the immediate and underlying causes, sources of financing, execution, and consequences of the demonstrations, as well as the response of security forces and proffer recommendations to prevent reoccurrence of the dreadful incident. Almost 8 months after the ugly episode, the 15-man committee has now presented a report on the protest that claimed the lives of 6 police officers and 21 civilians, according to the report. The account highlights that Sierra Leone is politically divided along regional and ethnic lines, which has been evident in the voting patterns of the last 4 election cycles. The western area, northwest, and the north are regarded as APC strongholds, and the southern and eastern regions as SLPP strongholds.
All the violent protests of August 10th took place in the perceived stronghold of the APC, and that apart from few placards carrying messages of economic situation in the country, one dominant message that resonated across all of these areas was that Maada Bio must go. In all the hotspots, stakeholders shared names of politicians loyal to opposition who were providing guidance and support to the protesters. The Lungi fuel stations, the Kafubolom Chief Sisters, the APC office, the Makeni Councillor, the Maboka Kamakwe area, and video and transcript were available to this effect. There were also indications that the protests were politically motivated and they were well planned, organized, and executed in a coordinated manner. The international community, that is the UN Special Rapporteur on Freedom of Association and Assembly, were sending conflicting messages that inflamed and aggravated the situation. Protesters used his tweets to claim that the international community was in support of the action to remove the sitting government. Several tweets and audios from the protesters speak to these claims. These messages give an impression that the international community was in support of the action of the protesters, despite the fact that the state was already under siege. This goes against international jurisprudence, which provides that the survival of the state takes precedence over rights during emergencies.
In his statement of acceptance, President Bio encouraged all Sierra Leoneans to be law-abiding as the country approaches the June 24 elections, citing that people involved in hate speeches and violence have no place in the coming elections and will face the law. He assured that his government will carefully study the report and take the necessary actions.
Because I believe that such an investigation must be independent and professional, I appointed various stakeholders, institutions, and organizations which are critical to our national peace consolidation efforts to constitute a special investigation committee. I also note that the executive summary of the report states the claim of extrajudicial killings following the August 10 protest could not be ascertained based on evidence collected from engagements with various stakeholders, including the security sector, the leaders of political parties like myself seated here. I want us to remember that no political ambition is worth the blood of any citizen in this country. On that note, let me conclude by thanking all of you, the members of the Special Committee, for your professionalism and commitment to completing this Herculean task. Therefore, I received this investigation report of the August 8 to 10 report protest with great delight.
Social media is identified as the hub for spreading insightful messages, hate speeches, misinformation, fake news, which played a key part in the planning, organizing, and implementation of the August 8 to 10 incident. However, Chairman of the committee said there are recommendations to all the issues highlighted, and the second report that is only for the president. Salifu Charnakamara, AYV News.